Hello and welcome to US Corps, an expansion for a game that's been out a long time now, Panzer Corps. It's a turn-based strategy kind of game with kind of tactical scenarios that you play through a number of these tactical scenarios in a large campaign against the AI. You can play against other players by email, although the main part of the game is solo play against AI. As I said, it's turn-paced, so not the usual RTS style that I'm used to playing, but I have played this game quite a lot before. You haven't got the in-depthness of like you don't have to build and scavenge and get resources and stuff like that, but you do have to take certain points to get prestige points. You have to build your core army, you have to get experience, you have to buy new recruits and new units for your army as you lose them throughout the campaign, and of course you have to try to get yourself to the end of the campaign as well. So basically, what about US Corps? Well, this is Panzer Corps, but US Corps is a series of 3 DLCs, US 42, US 43 and US 44, 45, which have been just recently added to the game. Now US Corps 42, it's been basically a year since Germany and Italy declared war on the United States, and plans have been made by General Eisenhower, and he is now ready to launch Operation Torch and enter the North African theatre. By landing on several spots in Morocco and Algeria, the American army plans to cut through the forces of the Vichy regime, the French Vichy regime, and head eastwards when they will face the Italo-German army in Tunisia. So that's basically what the campaign of US Corps 42, and you will play through a number of scenarios in that campaign. US Corps 43 moves on to the summer of 1943, as the name suggests, where the Allied army, again under the command of General Dwight D. Eisenhower, is ready to launch Operation Husky. In this, the goal is to liberate Sicily and use it as a base from where to land on mainland Italy. By acting decisively and swiftly, the Allies can then strike at the so-called soft underbelly of Europe. And then, if we move on to the US 44-45 campaign, again the name suggests, it starts in 1944, where after several years of war, the Allies have finally gained the upper hand. More than 1 million troops prepare in England for the largest amphibious invasion in history, Operation Overlord, of course starting with D-Day. The plan here is to land on several beaches in northern France and then push east and finally put an end to the war. So we are going to start off, of course, with US 42, and I'm going to play through that campaign and see how it goes on the channel. So I'm going to set it at Colonel, which is the normal difficulty for the game. I would play a bit higher, but I'm just going to put it on Colonel just to make sure I can try and, well, hopefully then I'll get through the whole of the campaign. Leaving weather effects on, I'm going to leave supply on, so I'm going to have to make sure all my units are supplied. Weather has an effect on aircraft and ground units. Fog of war, I'm going to leave that on, so to make sure I have to use recon units. And there is an undo function. You can't use it if you finish adjacent to enemy units, but you can use it if you just simply misclick, so that's why I'm going to leave that on as well. So the first mission, I won't read through all this, but it's basically going to be a training mission in which you're getting used to the game, getting used to a little bit like a tutorial. It's on a very small map, as you will see. This one really small, and you are going to decide on what you want in your core army. So these are the units you have to choose from, and we're going to have to choose from 8 of these, and we're going to put them in these slots marked A. So for me, I think we're going to first of all want an artillery piece. There's 2 artillery pieces. This is a strange truck which if you want extra information, you just press the I for information button. You can get things along here on the cost of it, the movement, spotting range, the range at which it can fire, initiatives. The initiative's important, decides whether this unit will fire first or whether the enemy will fire first. Soft attack, that's against kind of trucks, infantry, things like that. Armour, of course, hard attack, of course, against armoured vehicles. Then air attack against aeroplanes, and naval attacks against navy. And then you've got your defences against armour, your defences against air, and your defences against soft targets, soft enemies, and what type of it is, and this one happens to be a soft artillery piece. So this artillery piece, I'm probably going to take the one that I know more about, which is this one. It has got a range of 3, which is really, really useful, whereas this one's only got a range of 2. So I'm going to take the long range. It's also got a truck, so you can get it around the place if need be. So we'll take that. I'm also going to take all my tanks. We've got a Sherman, we've got an M4. We'll take that. We'll take the M5 as well, and we'll take the little M3 with us. Now I'd like to have a bit of infantry. We can have this kind of specialised infantry here, these US HW infantry, the 5th US HW infantry. We'll take those. And then I've got a choice. I could take some engineers. Now these are bridge engineers, which means it's useful later in the game for getting across bridges, but we are going to be tackling Africa, and I don't think in the Sahara and North Africa there's a whole lot of rivers, so I'm going to leave them just for now. We can get more specialised units later in the game if we need them. There's also a standard engineer group. Now the other problem with these is their movement range is only 2, so I'm going to go with standard infantry, which move faster, although they're not kind of as powerful as the other infantry units. So we're going to take a standard infantry unit there. We'll take one up there. We've got to fill this A slot here. I think that's all of our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all of our A slots. So we'll lose the ones we haven't chosen. We'll take those and we'll press end turn. So now we're going to be going to battle. We will be moving first. We're already on turn 2 and we have got 10 turns. It says it up here on the top right hand side. 10 turns to complete this mission. So we're going to scout first a little bit with our infantry. We'll move one of our infantry pieces up as far as it will go. We haven't got any recon, so we've got to be a little bit careful as we immediately bump into 3 enemy infantry. So I'm going to first of all have a pop at these with my artillery piece, which can move and fire or fire and move, whichever way around you wish to do it, but it will. These artillery pieces are renowned for running out of ammo quite quickly. And then we're going to try and finish this guy off. Now our infantry won't reach. They can't fire, of course, if they're in a truck, and they're very vulnerable in their trucks anyway. So we're going to move our tank up on the flank here, I think. Our big tank, our Sherman. We could get 6. Whoa! That was excellent. So that's 1 infantry. This isn't going to be a hard mission, by the way. It is a training mission after all. Now this infantry group can't move up. You don't want to be putting trucks in front of those, so none of these infantry can in fact reach. This one is in an armoured car, so it would be a little bit safer, but we've got to be a little bit careful. So we're going to use our tanks and we'll move this guy right up to, maybe not right up, but we'll move him up to there. It'll also protect our artillery a little bit because the AI does tend to go for artillery on their turn. And infantry out in the open, very vulnerable, especially if they're not dug in to tanks. We only took 2 health off that though. There's an armoured car behind there. We've got to be a little. I could have a pop at that, or I might just play it a little bit safe. We'll move up to here so that we can keep our artillery nice and protected and try and take their infantry down by a few points, another 5 points down there. And we'll try and get our infantry into a... Now I could move my armoured car. This is an armoured car, like a half-track kind of thing. So I might have another pop at these with this half-track, because we have to keep moving, because remember we do have to finish this mission in 10. There's likely to be a lot more units up here. So I think we'll have a little attack. You can see this is pretty decent. It's got a little machine gun and manages to do away with that and takes 2 damage for its troubles. Now we'll move our infantry up here just to protect our left flank, and move this infantry up just behind our tank here and our other infantry unit, and it will end our turn. So they move in with their armoured car, attacking our softer target here, as they always do, attacking our armoured truck as I might have expected, taking a lot of damage actually, so it may not have been a wise move to move up, although it did destroy their infantry group. So yeah, swings and roundabouts. So we're going to first have a pop again with our artillery. Now that will take 2, possibly that will take 1. Now I want to go and get rid of this armoured car, though it would be nice to get rid of the infantry as well. Just have a look here. That's a 4, but it's going to take damage. That's actually a 6 shot without any artillery fire to support. So we'll take that with our tank. They will be retreating or killed, and they have to retreat. So we could try and finish them off. We'll move this rearmost artillery infantry unit up, and we'll try and finish that infantry group off, which we managed to do. Now we'll move to I'm actually going to use this artillery piece. I'm going to move it up 1 slot. We're actually probably going to use it against the armoured car now. Try and do a little bit of damage. They can go yellow, they're a little bit routed, or they can go red where they're fairly well routed, in which they are less able to defend themselves. So what do we get out? Oh, we can't quite get our infantry round, but we can have some shots with our tanks. So we'll take that one, get some nice hits there, and it does retreat in fact, and we'll take, in fact, we'll move up to protect this infantry piece and have another shot at the armoured car. I really want to destroy that armoured car. It is the most dangerous weapon they've got on the field at the moment that I can see. There's some more infantry up north there. And then we'll move our infantry up to try and finish it off. Good, not bad. Oh, it's actually moved backwards. It's in the range of our 4 group. Now, I wanted to resupply these, but if I fire them, I can't resupply them. But I think I'm going to have to fire them. So, job done. And we'll move them into a reasonably safe... Well, could move them up to there. If we can cover this gap here, which we can with our tank, then I'll just move them forward a little bit. And then, what else can we move our infantry? I don't even know if I fired these yet. There is an anti-tank weapon here, which is going to be a good target for our infantry to attack. So we'll do that. It's not the best anti-tank weapon, it's just a small pack, 3.7 centimeter gun. And then we can move our tank up, probably to... We'll move it just up to there. It can't fire because it's already fired. That's all our units moved and fired. And we'll end our turn there. As the enemy has a go at our infantry here. I don't know whether that pack will fire, I'm not sure. But there is an artillery piece moving into position though. We need to destroy that because that will do us some serious damage, and you can see it's routed our unit there briefly, although it is now our turn. So we need to try and get round to that. Oh, in fact, I can take my tank round, because every time we fire at these, if it's in range of the artillery will support whatever we're shooting at. So we need to take this artillery down as quickly as possible, and I'm going to send my tank around the back, around to flank it, and try to take down as many points as I can. And that's a nice -7 hit on that artillery piece. Can't quite finish it off, but it's going to be very weak shooting it with a strength of just 3. Now I need to move my artillery piece up and find it's a nice juicy target. I'm tempted to have a go at the pack gun, but I've really got to get rid of these infantry. That has got a possible 5 hit already on there, so I'd like to take my tank up. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just play it safe. We'll take the 5 hit, hopefully. Yes, we managed to take that out. Very nice indeed. And then that means leaves our artillery for another target. We can probably move our infantry up because that pack isn't going to do major damage to our infantry. So we'll hit their infantry with our artillery. And we'll move this tank around the flank here and hit the artillery from the infantry from the side. And this one's already fired. In fact, they've moved now, which is a bit of a pain. We'll move these infantry up to there and have another little pop at them. I'd like to destroy this infantry group if possible. Oh, it's moved right down near our... Oh, we've got to get rid of that now. Again, I wanted... Yeah, let's bring these round the back. We've got to get that away from our artillery. That's good. And we can now... We can resupply this. Oh, we can't resupply. I don't think... Maybe I can't get replacements. Oh, I haven't got any prestige points here. Up to the top right is your prestige points. Clearly we don't get any prestige points in the training mission, so they have to stay at health of strength of 4. But we've got some movement left, I think. We've got our tank to move. We've got a shot with this if we want it. Let's move our tank right up around on the flank here. It can't shoot, of course, it's already shot, and we will have a little pop at this pack anti-tank weapon. Traded shots there, really. I'd like to have done a little bit more damage. I think I've moved everything. End the turn here. Now the pillbox is firing on our tank now, but it will take damage as well, as they are attacking our weaker infantry group. Got to be careful you don't lose. Once you lose your core units, you lose them. That's it. They're gone, and you cannot take them forward to the next scenario. So we've got an infantry group left here. They've got the pack. We've got this artillery piece, which we definitely need to destroy. Now then, we've got to protect these weak infantry groups. So we're going to try and take this infantry group out first. So we'll use our artillery first. Now it's taking it down a fair bit. Now I'm going to use this really weak infantry group because they are routed, and then I'm going to pull them right back and not use them again. Then I'm going to try, it's just gone out of range, but I want to attack, I really want to attack the artillery with my tank, because I don't want that to gain strength. They are gaining strength, although I can't gain strength, which is a bit bizarre. And we'll send our 7 strength tank around the back to attack and hopefully kill. Not quite killed it, but as it's now adjacent to our tank, it can't resupply its strength. So we'll send our infantry up to attack this anti-tank weapon. And we'll send the other infantry to hopefully do it a little bit more damage. Try and keep it away from our tanks. Not that it's a good one. And this guy, yeah, we'll take a shot. We'll take another shot with him. We'll take a chance. Good. I think I can move my gun up a little bit. Yeah. And you can stay back there. Everything's moved. Oh no, actually, we've got another shot with this guy. Get it out of the way. I might as well have a shot at the... Oh, actually, no. No. I'm going to move this around the flank here. And we'll let the big guys have a go at the pillbox. So we'll end that turn. We've still got 5 turns left. The pillbox shooting out at our tank again. Now then, let's first of all weaken there. In fact, it's already routed, so we don't need to weaken it. Let's get rid of this flipping artillery gun. Right, it's now down. That's good. I'm going to move my tank right next to that pillbox. I'm going to take a shot at the pillbox with this tank. I'm just going to move that tank out of range. And then I'll attack the infantry with this tank. And with these infantry. Because you do get a flanking benefit. So we'll hit them first with the tank. And once you've attacked them, they come out of like the red status, so we'll hit them with our artillery to try and put them back into a red or at least yellow, which we do, which is good. And then we'll attack them with our infantry and finish them off. So we've got 2 groups of infantry left, so we'll attack this gun again. And in fact, that is now destroyed, and we'll just retreat these infantry back to live to fight another day. End our turn there. So we've just got the pillbox to deal with now. So we'll fire with our artillery first, I think. Nothing. Okay, fair enough. It is the pillbox. Attack with our big tank and destroy the pillbox. Move into the space the pillbox took. Turn it into the American flag. End our turn and finish the scenario. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I have played this game quite a lot, so I kind of know what I'm doing. It's often not quite that easy. So that's it, I think, for this episode. We'll be moving on to the kind of proper scenarios, the scenarios proper in the next episode. But that's a bit of an introduction to the game. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.